Good morning. I'd like to call to order the Public Improvement Commission hearing of September 6th, 2018. Our first order of business is to note that the minutes from the previous Public Improvement Commission meeting were reviewed and approved by the PIC staff. Our first item of business is a public hearing continued on a joint petition by Broadway and A Street LLC and the Boston Planning and Development Agency for the vertical discontinuance of portions of the following public ways in South Boston, vertically above and below grades of the sidewalks. The locations are West Broadway on its southwesterly side at addresses number 79-89 southeast of A Street on its southeasterly side southwest of West Broadway. This was new business on July 12, 2018 and had its first public hearing on August 23, 2018. This is as shown on a set of plans entitled City of Boston Public Works Department, Engineering Division, Airspace Subsurface Discontinuance Plan, 79-89 West Broadway, A Street, South Boston, 3 sheets dated June 29, 2018. Good morning.
Good morning.
Please go ahead.
Hi. Jay Carroll from Harwood Stein Hudson. With me today is Doug Stefanov of Stefanov Architects and Steve Higgins of Broadway and A Street LLC. So the 7989 West Broadway project, we're at the intersection of West Broadway and A Street in South Boston. Proposal is to replace a gas station with a 6-story mixed-use building, commercial ground floor space, about 65 residential units above ground. The petition today is for discontinuance of balconies that are overhanging the property along West Broadway and along A Street. And then also we have footings for the columns of that first floor overhang are also extending over the property line.
You have something from BPDA?
Yep, it's been.
Oh, sorry.
It's been recorded.
Thank you.
Judge Stein,
The meeting was recorded yesterday morning. We're getting the recording information and it's going to be valued. We looked it over to your office. The recording information should be out. Thank you very much.
The reason this was continued was because of that was not done prior to the public hearing last
Correct.
time.
Yep.
Questions or comments on the vertical discontinuance? Amy or Todd? Members of the public? All right, I'll entertain a motion.
See, I wasn't here, but I'll make a motion to approve on a joint petition by Broadway and A Street LLC for the Boston Planning and Development Agency for the vertical discontinuance of portions of the following public ways in South Boston as read into the record by the chair, as shown on a set of plans entitled City of Boston Public Works Department, Engineering Division, Airspace Subsurface Discontinuance Plan 7989 West Broadway, 8th Street, South Boston, 3 sheets dated June 29, 2008.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. So moved. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Moving on to the public hearing. Our first item is on a joint petition by CVPA Chain Forge LLC and the Boston Planning and Development Agency for the making of specific repairs within the following public ways in Charlestown, consisting of curb, sidewalk, and pedestrian ramp reconstruction, as well as new and relocated specialty pavement, street trees, sidewalk, irrigation infrastructure, and driveway curb cuts.
Chief, I'm not sure whether the petition is, are they here?
They are not. They were going to request continuance, but so.
Since the BPDA is a co-petitioner, is that?
No opposition and fully support continuance.
Sean will, for the record, also read through the rest of this, and then we'll go into the process, okay? Sure. Hold on one sec.
Thank you, Chief.
So again, it's a joint petition by CVPA Chain Forge LLC and the Boston Planning and Development Agency for the making of specific repairs. The locations are First Avenue on its northwesterly side at address number 105 between 9th Street and 13th Street. 9th Street on its northeasterly side, northwest of First Avenue. 13th Street on its southwesterly side, northwest of First Avenue. This was new business on August 23rd, 2018. And this is as shown on a set of plans entitled City of Boston Public Works Department, Engineering Division, Specific Repairs Plan, First Avenue, 9th Street, and 13th Street, Charlestown. 2 sheets dated June 7th, 2018. Sean.
Good morning, Commissioners. Sean Nehill on behalf of the Boston Planning and Development Agency. The Boston Planning and Development Agency is a co-petitioner to this matter, and it's my understanding that our co-petitioner in this matter sought a continuance. The BPDA has no objection to that. And
2 weeks.
So 2 weeks? Till September 20th?
2 weeks, yes.
Very good.
Thank you very much.
No problem. All right, I'll entertain a motion to continue this item until September 20th for 2 weeks.
I'll make a motion to continue public hearing number 1 to
September 20th.
September 10th.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. So moved. Our next item is on a joint petition by CVPA Chain Forge LLC and the Boston Planning and Development Agency for the granting of a projection license for the installation of canopy over a portion of the sidewalk within First Avenue in Charlestown, located on its northwesterly side at address number 105, generally between 9th Street and 13th Street. This was new business on August 23rd, 2018, and this is as shown on a plan entitled City of Boston Public Works Department, Engineering Division, License Plan, First Avenue, Public Street, Charlestown, one sheet dated May 23rd, 2018.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, members of the Commission. My name is Sean Nehill, Boston Planning Development Agency. On behalf of the BPDA, we have no opposition to the request for continuance sought by the co-petitioner to this matter.
I will
It's a 2-week
for 2 weeks.
continuance.
I'll entertain a motion to continue this item until the next PIC hearing on September 20th.
I'll make a motion to continue public hearing number 2 for 2 weeks.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. So moved.
Thank you, members of the Commission.
Thank you, Sean. Our next item is on a petition by Emerson College for the making of specific repairs within Boylston Street, Boston proper, located on its south side at address number 76 through 162 between Tremont Street and Carver Street, consisting of curb realignment, sidewalk and pedestrian ramp reconstruction, as well as new and relocated specialty pavement, pavement markings, bike racks, street furniture, planters, landscaping, irrigation infrastructure, private utility infrastructure, a digital campus, wayfinding information kiosk, and a raised crosswalk. This was new business on August 23rd, 2018, and this is shown on a set of plans entitled City of Boston Public Works Department, Engineering Division, Specific Repairs Plan, 76-162 Boylston Street, Emerson College, Boston proper, 4 sheets dated August 2018. Morning, Peggy.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the Commission. My name is Peggy Ings. I'm the Vice President for Government and Community Relations, and my team consists of
Chris Hardy with Ditch Engineering. David Black from VHB.
Ross Cameron with Valkis Manfredi Architects.
We're happy to be back today to have answered what we consider almost all of your questions. I think actually I would say all, but you'll tell me in the end. So why don't we get right into these responses? Changes in the sidewalk design that we showed you. Sidewalk banding and width changes have occurred. We've removed the banding, expanded the widths to accommodate needs and requests of the Disability Commission. We met with the group. They were very pleased with all of it, including the handicap selection spots and the entryways, which we will improve, and the cross slopes have improved. So I think if you speak to them, they have given their support. Yes. Sorry. One last thing, which Sarah did ask me to say, was that if any part of that sidewalk needs a variance, we will go for it. One of the other areas you asked about were the ramps. We actually confirmed them for compliance, and there is one in the southeast corner that is not compliant, but we will make it compliant. You asked about the Emerson College police cruisers. They will now be permanently parked in Allen's Alley, where the loading dock is in the evening. They used to use that prior to the construction project. They will go back there. If there's an issue this is after construction. If there's an issue there, they will use the rear of 150 Tremont Street, which is the, Boylston Street, sorry, which is the Piano Row Residence Hall. We have been working with Housing and Residence Life to create a new move-in plan. We're in the thick of that now, but I can share with you a few things that they have determined they will be doing. One of them is to have a number of days for all building move-ins. For example, the little building will be accommodating all new freshmen, well, freshmen are new, all freshmen, and they will load in from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So we'll get the major move done in that day. The return students will also have some separate buildings, but we can't put them all in one building. Each of the move-in families has a time to be there. Right now, they get 30 minutes. In the future, if they don't, that's if they show up, of course. Now, if they show up late or don't show up at all, they have to go to the end of the queue, and they will have to wait till the end. And that will be stated pretty clearly because of the nature of what's going on.
So, just on that, now the curb space is gone. This weekend was a good example.
Right.
It was kind of chaotic out there relative to the move-in. Now the space is, you have a designated area where that little building is going to be located.
Well, for the little building, we will be using Tremont Street, Allen's Alley, and we will be utilizing the State Transportation Building's parking lot with hampers available in the lobby of the little building. So they'll be moving them
Nothing will be on
around.
Boylston Street.
At this point, I don't know. At this point, I haven't been told that, but I will keep you.
I can tell you that.
Yeah.
It won't be there.
Well, I know they'll pull in there, and that's another question you
That's why
actually.
we have Emerson Police to make sure
That's
that
right.
they're done right.
Yes, and they do move them. And that is the new program that you asked for too, which was, well, how are we going to keep those trucks? Emerson College's police department, the chief has agreed to having 2 officers dedicated to that spot, to those spots all along Boylston Street for as long as it takes, and you know that might be forever. But 2 additional officers they will hire to actually enforce it. So they went to the president, they've gone to their staff, and they actually felt that in order to get the commitment truly to be in effect, they had to hire more officers, and they got permission to do that, so that enforcement will happen. I'm thrilled, so I hope you're happy as well, you know, and they will.
We shall see.
We shall see. We shall see. But they're a little relentless too. They want to get things going. Let's see, the use of Allen's Alley and Tremont Street, well, as I just said earlier, but 2 of the things on Tremont Street, the side door of the little building at 211 Tremont going down will be available also for move-in, and the freight elevator in Allen's Alley. That's the other answer to your question. Both of those. The mid-block crossing, which begins at the entrance to Boylston Place. I'm trying to segment all of these and give you a sense. Why a mid-block crossing? The research that we've done and continue to do has shown this is a need with the following data and the following opinions. Prior to the Colonial opening, we did pedestrian counts in that area, in the exact area where the mid-block would begin and end on the south side sidewalk of the Boston Common. That count, without the Colonial, without the kids, was 1,191 people crossing from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Now add to that the 1,700 people exiting from the Colonial Theater's matinees and evening performances, the 1,250 people who cross, some of them, not all of them, to the State Transportation Building daily, The Emerson College Dining Hall, which is open from breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and the 2 Boylston Place Residence Hall. This mid-block crossing will be safer for all. It slows down oncoming traffic, and it eases crowds that would occur on Boylston and Tremont at the corner. We had a conversation with Parks. I think they spoke to you, Rob spoke to you.
So, yeah, Parks is okay. He's okay with everything, including the mid-block crossing. They did want that this to be contingent on their approval of the sidewalk on the opposite side of the street. It's pretty straight construction, but they wanted to reserve the right to add some bollards or additional.
And we agreed to that. Signalization, I'll turn it over to our
Let's get
traffic.
back to the mid-block. Who did
Yeah.
you talk to? Don Burgess, John DeBenedictis? Who at BTD Engineering has looked at this and gave a thumbs up? It's very important. I mean, our engineers need to have looked at this.
The traffic consultants have not, have said that they
I
haven't.
can't go forward on something like this without, the engineering director and the chief engineer, Don Burgess, haven't looked at this. We can look at the
We've been meeting with folks from BTD throughout the year, engineering, yeah.
Peggy, I'm sorry, you're with Mitch, right? I should know this.
Yep.
So do the following. You're drawing the plans, yes? Okay. So as Commissioner Hisford said, do one of the 2 things because you are putting a mid-block race crosswalk. So you are trying to create a level of safety or perceived safety. So talk to John DeBenedictis, engineering team at BTD, but simultaneously make an assessment as to whether you need to trap the intersection in case we need to put overhead flashing activated pedestrian walk light. That sort of stuff we don't want to do afterwards because then it becomes messy and we need to tear things up. So make the assessment and do. So I'm trying to say it in a very gentle way. You should be able to catch on to what I'm saying without me actually saying it. So if I were you should be coming back to us saying that you will trap it so that the underground hardware is available and the petitioner is willing to add that piece of hardware if it is needed from the transportation.
Right, and I'm sure that the engineering director and Don Burgess, they're going to be looking for analysis.
Yeah.
Is there crosswalk, pedestrian warning analysis and crosswalk, the technical backup to this stuff. I mean, just throwing a crosswalk, mid-block on a main arterial street.
So we have done an analysis. We've looked at the traffic volumes and the pedestrian volumes, and the warrants are not met for a signalized crosswalk, so it needs to be an unsignalized.
And who did you show at BTD Engineering?
That has not been shared. I understand, and we'll work with.
We did
awkward for us.
Yeah,
it is awkward for us.
Yes.
So do that little bit of work, but since we are all acknowledging that there is a pedestrian need, but we want to be careful is, I don't want to pontificate. You guys know this better than we do, or as well as we do. Do the underground hardware so that if a flashing beacon is needed, it is not an afterthought to tear everything. Okay, so proactively, guys, do it. You all are good at this stuff. Okay?
We will coordinate that with Mitch.
So coordinate it. Make sure that
Yes.
Peggy understands the.
I think I was pretty clear at the last, new business.
Right.
And we can go ahead with the curb line,
Yeah.
but crosswalk signalization needs to be discussed.
And since it's an operational issue, it is consistent with the PIC.
Right.
Well, so we can go contingent on the approval of the engineering department, and if the engineering department determines that it is not warranted, that it should be removed from the plans by the road bylaw.
One way or the other, trap it. Because in years to come or months to come, if that hardware is needed, I don't think we want to rip or tear up the investment that is being made. Okay? So that should be your recommendation to your client to ensure the safety of the kids that are going here.
Okay.
Have safe.
So the last piece is what you asked us for was the current phasing.
Yes.
So could you talk about the current phasing of
Tremont and Boylston.
the intersection?
Yeah.
Yes.
So the intersection today has a very generous exclusive pedestrian phase. So there's nothing in the street changes that would impact the delay for pedestrians. They will have the same wait time. They will experience the same, and it is a very generous period. The red to red is something like 29 seconds. So we're not anticipating that pedestrians would have any difference in their experience at the intersection with the changes.
So the discussion that we had at New Business was introducing a diagonal crossing to formalize that.
So the length of diagonal is clearly longer than some of the parallel crosswalks, and the current pedestrian phase is adequate for pedestrians to cross diagonally if that is the desire.
So then again, that needs to be discussed with Mr. Burgess, Mr. Benedictus, get concurrence if they agree with that assessment.
Yeah.
Because you are, as part of the street design, putting in diagonal markings, per se, as what's rendered on the plan.
That's what's rendered on the plan.
So again, let's team back and have a huddle.
Like it looks like a diagonal crosswalk. So John Benedictus and his team needs to ensure that the walk line is adequate for someone
Yes.
to walk through. That's all. I mean, this is
Yeah.
like about half a millisecond worth of work.
Understood.
Yeah.
And Peggy, sorry, I keep forgetting your name.
Chris.
Chris. Southwest corner of the intersection, since you don't have the plans with you.
Yep.
There are two handicapped ramps. The ramp that is facing north-south, can you please align the ramp with the crosswalk, so when you leave the crosswalk, I'm on a crosswalk? Okay.
Yeah, we talked, actually, it came up yesterday too as well. So those were basic, yeah, those were the requests that you made at the other hearing.
I appreciate all the work that you guys have done in interviewing. There's obviously a little bit more which needs to be done before the Mylars, and but other questions or comments, other things we would, yeah, please.
Yes, there is discussion going on with Mitch Engineering regarding the water mains underneath the sidewalk, so they're going to be relocated out, right? And then there's going to be some hydrant switches on some of the pipe.
So we're not relocating any mains. We are cutting and capping the 16-inch high-pressure fire service.
Which is
The
under
two
the-
water mains under the sidewalk are there, and they will remain there. We're not touching them.
Okay, and there's an MOLO agreement that are going to be in place to
So
cover that?
yeah, we've been coordinating this with Mike Nelson. I submitted plans to your office a week and a half ago, I think, maybe 2 weeks now. Just showing it's really just the cut and cap and the removal of the hydrants that Mike Nelson had coordinated that with the Boston Fire Department. And then we need to relocate the existing hydrants out to the curb line, so we buffer the curb line out, so we're going to do that as well.
Yeah, some of the hydrants, I understand, are going to switch from to high pressure and one to like a low pressure switch locations. One at
Yes.
the corner of the intersection.
We are taking out 2 of the hydrants altogether, and then the other one that is connected currently to the high pressure fire service will go to the high.
Yeah, just looking at this plan here, it looks like at the corner of Tremont at Boylston, you have a hydrant that's going to go there. Usually it doesn't go in as a part of the handicap ramp, so you got to make sure you take care of that.
Yeah,
we'll adjust that.
You need to take a better look at the way you have drawn that intersection.
That's all I have.
The LMI also, we are, as we were told, consider it signed. Thank you.
On the LMI? Yes. Great. Thank you, Peggy. Other questions or comments? Any talk? Members of the public? Sorry. I'll entertain a motion noting that the final striping plan for the intersection of Tremont and Boylston is contingent on a conversation with Don Burgess and the BTD engineering team, and the final design of the mid-block crossing similarly.
Finally, design of the sidewalk on the side to get the
Yes.
Correct.
But
Thank you.
yes.
And that third, right. And the sidewalk on the north side of Boylston
the
Street
side.
to be approved by Parks.
I make a motion to approve the petition by Emerson College for making specific repairs within Boylston Street, Boston proper, as read into the record by the chair in consisting of curb realignment, sidewalk, pedestrian ramp reconstruction, as well as new relocated specialty pavement markings, bike racks, street furniture, planters, landscaping, irrigation infrastructure, private utility infrastructure, a digital campus walk wayfinding information kiosk, and possibly a raised crosswalk. All shown on a set of plans entitled City of Boston Public Works Department, Engineering Division, Specific Repairs Plan, 76162 Boylston Street, Emerson College, Boston proper, 4 sheets dated August 2018, with the noted caveat from the chair.
Second.
All in favor? So moved. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Our next item is on a petition by Comcast of Boston, Inc. for a grant of location with lead company status and no participants to install new telecommunication conduit with city shadow within the following public ways in Boston proper. Locations are Newmarket Square, generally between Glynn Way and Southampton Street, Theodore A. Glynn Way, between Massachusetts Avenue and Southampton Street, Topeka Street, northeast of Southampton Street. This was new business on August 23rd, 2018, and this is as shown on a set of plans entitled City of Boston Public Works Department, Engineering Division, Grant of Location Plan, Theodore Glynn Way in Newmarket Square, Boston, 7 sheets dated August 17th, 2018.
Good morning. Tim Porthel with Comcast. As we discussed last time, it's a fairly large project here. Proposing the installation of 12 manholes and about 3,300 feet in the public way, about 4,400 feet total. Last meeting we discussed the possibility of any participants. I submitted the emails back to Todd that we received. Verizon got back to me right away last Friday. There's no new developments that they need to do at this time, and the telecommunication companies as well have nothing in that area. It's a large commercial area, so I don't think they're getting much out of it.
They gave us formal notice, not just non-responsive.
They actually gave us in writing.
Yeah.
Like, okay, stop that.
Tim, can you just briefly walk us through again kind of the extent of the plan?
So we're going to be installing 4-inch conduit with the two quad duct teleduct for the city shadow. We're starting over at Pompey Street, crossing Mass Ave, continuing down Theodore Glynn Way to Topeka Street. Then we'll also, from Theodore Glynn Way, we're going down Newmarket Square and continuing down to 225 South Hamden Street, which is the final destination. Work will be in the street and sidewalk. And we're doing the best we can to have minimal crossings of water and soil like they asked.
Do the following for me, please. There's a lady named Sue Sullivan who works for the Newmarket Business District Association. I hope I got the flip, but the lady's name is Sullivan. Sue Sullivan. Please reach out to her and let her know that this work is coming down.
Okay.
Who's the build-out for? What are you building this out for?
So this will be fiber and coax. So we have an
Who's the client? So who is the client? Is this system upgrade or are you serving someone?
Yeah, no, we're serving multiple locations. There's, I think, 7 properties that we're
Nope, and this is 2 tries of this, and they're firm up.
And so 2 4-inch conduits with city shadow.
We contemplate an extra city shadow.
We should have that conversation with PPDA about people planning conversations in the area.
yeah, or communication manholes anywhere, something like that.
So I think our request might be for an additional shadow, but
That'd be good, I think.
Okay.
Other questions or comments? Amy or Todd? Members of the public? Entertain a motion on this item?
Make a motion to approve petition by Comcast of Boston, Inc. for the grant location of lead company status and no participants to install new telecommunication conduit with city shadow within the following public ways as read into the record by the chair and as shown on a set of plans entitled City of Boston Public Works Department Engineering Division Ground Location Plan, 8 Old Line Way, Union Market Square, Boston, 7 sheets dated August 17, 2008.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. So moved. Thank you, Tim. Our final public hearing item is on a petition by First Light Fiber for a grant of location with lead company status and 3 participants to install new telecommunication conduit with city shadow within the following public ways in Boston proper. Berkeley Street, generally between Boylston Street and St. James Avenue, St. James Avenue southwest of Berkeley Street. This was new business on August 23rd, 2018, and this is as shown on a set of plans entitled City of Boston Public Works Department, Engineering Division, Grant of Location Plan, 200 Berkeley Street, Boston, 4 sheets dated September 5th, 2018. Good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. I'm Shelley Cullen with Axis Engineering, and this is John Barry from Axis Engineering, and we're representing First Light. This is Donnie Pelletier from First Light. So basically, we petitioned for lead company status and a grant of location. We put notice out, and we received actually 3 participants who are interested in this dig. Because of that, we were asked to add an additional city shadow. So we've done that. And we are in the process of getting all the paperwork completed. I have everything to Chung Lu, I believe, that he needs, and I'll talk with him after to make sure we have that. So basically, that's where we're at.
Thank you again for reaching out, for getting, I realize it's a requirement, but for actually getting co-participants in this project, it always makes a difference for us. So
yeah, we were pleased.
So this technically is a build-out for level 3 to add more connections for the citywide loop.
Right, they're using, First Light is utilizing level 3 conduit to get over there, yes. And level 3 is a participant in the new build.
So I'm not surprised it was participants.
So yeah, 2 of the existing conduit that are there capped now will be brought into this manhole system.
Who will be doing this work?
Pardon?
Who's the contractor going to be doing the work?
Phoenix.
Phoenix Communications.
Make sure when they show up on the street, they have a First Light information board for the construction work zone.
Okay.
This is getting very confusing, who's who.
Right.
There's many contractors doing many different companies.
Yes.
Sure.
Other questions or comments? Any or Todd? Members of the public? All right. I'll entertain a motion on this item.
I'll make a motion on petition public hearing number 5 for First Light Fiber for the grant of location with lead company status on 3 participants to install new telecommunication conduit with city shadow within the following ways as written in the record by the chair and shown in the set of plans entitled City of Boston Public Works Department Engineering Division Grant of Location Plan, 200 Berkeley Street, Boston, 4 sheets dated September 5th, 2018.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
So moved.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Moving on to new business. Our first and only item is Arlington Street, Boylston Street, Dartmouth Street, Exeter Street, Boston proper, a grant of location on a petition by Extenet Systems, Inc.
Morning, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. For the record, Ricardo Souza from Prince Bell Tie, here on behalf of the petitioner Extenet Systems, and John Morrison from UC Synergetics, engineer record. And Commissioners, this is a continuing effort by Extenet Systems to extend its wireless DAS network by utilizing the city's streetlights. And this is, these digs involve essentially 4 nodes that are located in the Back Bay. All 4 of the nodes were brought to the the BBAC, Back Bay Architectural Commission, and we have a certificate of appropriateness from the Back Bay Architectural Commission, just for the record.
They've seen these pictures, right?
Yes, they've seen those
It hasn't
photos.
been abstract. They've seen this and they said this is fine.
That's right. In fact, we have a decision, a written decision from that perspective.
Thank you so much.
Of course. And so these 4 nodes require digs. Given the sensitivity of the location of the nodes, we've decided to do micro-trenching in connection with all 4 of the nodes. And so those are articulated in essentially the 3 dig plans that we submitted as part of this petition. Very good. And we're happy to answer any questions that you may have, commissioners.
You know, we've sort of talked about this in the past in non-council settings, but the use of the sort of the phasar whip or whatever of that approach here, as opposed to the more the canister type antenna. Why this design for in this particular location?
So in this case, it was actually the Back Bay Architectural Commission that requested the whip antenna instead of the canister. And so it depends on the particular historic group or the neighborhood and what they request. It doesn't work as well, but it does work, and we have approved it with our clients. And so we're willing to go in that direction.
And by not working as well, what are the implications of that, either on service or density of antennas?
It's just a matter of capacity.
Right.
Yep.
Which would basically mean more, right?
Potentially more.
Okay,
Potentially more. Yeah.
So there's no city shadow in this area?
Not with respect to these digs. The trade-off with respect to micro-trenching is that we can't build a city shadow conduit at the same time.
But I'm questioning the existing, there's nothing in the area that can be utilized to save the street from being dug up yet once again.
Oh, I see what you mean.
So who verifies that? Is it Mike Lynch? Is it?
No, so we're actually in the process of mapping our city shadows so that it can be done in an easy way where people can see what's available from a rental perspective, and we can see what they should be using if they're proposing things. We're doing that using for there.
This feels like we're guessing, you know, that.
Currently we are.
Yeah.
Appreciative of the directions which you are going in terms of providing this service. We can further optimize by this concept of miniaturization,
Right.
okay? Especially the stuff that is at eyeball level, the bottom
base
part,
cabinet.
the base caps, okay?
Correct.
So, I don't want to pontificate about miniaturization, but talk to your clients, meaning that it is whoever the end carriers are, and let them understand that investments are needed to support your industry, because this is still obtrusive.
The location
Yep.
would be even better than miniaturization.
Yes, but go at it from both prongs.
And I think that's clearly the trend in the industry, is to just make everything smaller. The pressure is both on the carriers and also the manufacturers to try to find a way to do that. We believe we've gone a long way if you compare it to a typical macro site, but PARA, that's absolutely the direction, and we communicate that message every time that we speak to them, so myself included.
Please don't feel compelled to answer this question, but be in a position where in the future you have miniaturized it to a point where it is actually pleasant. Will you be in a position to retrofit now all the other ugly ones or the more less desirable ones? Keep that in the back of your mind.
Yes.
Okay?
Especially as it pertains to base cabinets, which
It's just the
require-
base. You can keep all the other stuff.
Yes.
Okay, so just keep that in your business model, where we may ask you, where in a couple of years, if there's a far better model that is pleasing to the urban design, you voluntarily say, I will
Yeah.
go fix the others.
I agree, and I think that will be to the benefit of the infrastructure companies themselves as well. And I think what you'll see is change is happening so much faster than it used to. There'll be incentives on all sides for miniaturization. I agree.
Other questions or comments? Any comments? All right, is 2 weeks enough time? You guys come back?
Yes, it is, Mr. Chairman.
See you on September 20th.
Very good. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Do I hear a second? All in favor? So moved.